we are watching Immanuel Quickley. And this is, to me, why he should be so easily able to step into what the Raptors are doing. We're just going to run the play. Here it is. Look at that. Just comes out of the corner. Perfectly easy. The Raptors are running delay. There's pistol concepts that they can run for him in early offense. He steps into the offense. It's as easy as that. Devin Vassell tries to shoot the gap. He just reroutes around the other side. This one, perfectly easy, just a double drag, and they don't really play up on him, just bangs the three. This one, and this is also funny because this happens with Grady as well. This is the Spain pick and roll. And what keeps happening when Chris Boucher is the main screener is he kind of forgets they're running the play. There's like 4 plays this year where Grady is pointing him to where to be. But Immanuel quickly tells him, like, hey, you're setting the screen. I'm the back screener. Spain leak. RJ drives it. He leaks out there. He catches, hits a 3. So these things are just so quick. They're happening so quickly, and they're how Immanuel leverages his shooting. And just to give you some really great numbers, Immanuel Quickley, last year, as a Raptor, he shot 73% from 3 off of screens. That's really good. That's really, really good. It's not a huge sample size, but 73% from downtown off screens. Extremely well done. He shot 34% on guarded catch and shoot threes, which is good. And he shot 47% on unguarded catch and shoot threes, which is elite. This is why so much of what they do, look, he's setting the screen, going to slip out. You get just relocate, find a triple. That's an RJ possession. RJ doesn't lose that possession. Immanuel Quickley just helps enhance that, right? We get this play, right? This is just a grenade DHO into the corner. Good shooters are the ones who get grenade DHOs because it's just sprinting into the corner because teams don't want to chase you out there like that because most shooters can't run right into the corner and hit a 3. He's able to do that. Grady is another guy on the team who can do that. This one, look at this. Just enter the ball. And I like this play because this is something that the Raptors used to run for Fred VanVleet all the time. And that's because this is a Pascal play. It's a flex screen from Immanuel Quickley. It used to be Fred VanVleet to try and get a high-low entry. Scotty didn't catch the pass properly, and also he sniffs it out, so Pascal doesn't get to come in. But since they overplay Pascal on this cut, then Immanuel gets to come off of this pin down, and it's a wide-open 3 for him. Super easy plays. The Raptors don't run that play really anymore, but that's just Immanuel Quickley, a 40% three-point shooter, one of the best catch-and-shoot options in the NBA, and not a bad pull-up shooter either. I think he shot 37% on his pull-up triples last year. He's just able to bring so much. And this play, this is Decky's play. If you'll remember, Coach Decky passed away, and that's one of Darko's good friends. He was a member of the Golden State Warriors staff. This was the play they ran to honor him. Gary Trent Jr. empties out the side because they want to bring Immanuel Quickley over here. Immanuel Quickley is going to ghost this screen and then come off of a flare. Scotty Barnes is the trigger man here. The play is going to develop, and we're going to see a pass over the top. There you go. Shooter. Bang. Big shout out to Coach Decky. That's his play. He drew that up, and the Raptors ran it to honor him. And that's just a great play. This is the – let's get into the drawing board quick. Okay, so Doc Russ says, can't they run that for Grady? They certainly can. They can run. Grady has been substituting in so much of Immanuel Quickley's plays. They've been. He's just stepped into so much of what Immanuel Quickley does, and he's just stepped into that role. Now, what we're gonna do is this is shallow 77, 77 shallow. Sorry. So Scotty Barnes is right here. He has the ball, right? The Raptors. I'll do it like this. The Raptors, they're coming down. They want to score right here. The shallow cut is a play that the Raptors run to create space over here in this driving gap or to create a shot right here. A 77 or a double drag is 2 screens. Scotty's going to come across these 2 screens like this. This is IQ. What IQ does is he shallows the screen, is if nobody follows him, then he's going to be open for 3, and Scotty can make that skip pass there. Or if somebody follows IQ and the defenders follow him over there because he has so much gravity as a shooter, then that creates a lane and a true 2-on-1 for Scotty and Jakob to come attack together in the pick and roll. Now, we're going to see a variation of this play. We're going to see the Raptors run it. and you're going to see it work and see when it doesn't work. So we'll get into this. Where are we? Okay, yes. So this is shallow 77. As you can see, Jakob is already moving. Immanuel is about to move out of it. They play hard up front, and they make sure that they take care of Jakob here. So Scotty makes the read. IQ is open, gets a closeout, like a really advantageous one to attack, and scores. This one, as you can see, Thad is right there setting it. IQ is coming out on the other side. They play over here. He's making sure that he rubs Thaddeus. Jaron is saying, like, I have to cover the drive if it's there. Tyus was applying some pressure. And then we see the pass over top. And then Immanuel Quickley, he misses, but it's a wide open three for one of the best shooters in the league. Well, anyway, this one is where they fake it, right? So that's what's happening in this play. Immanuel Quickley, they think it's going to be a double drag, and they're gearing up for it. But Immanuel Quickley, this is a read. He can turn this into a screen. And the reason why they run the shallow so that Immanuel's catching on this side of the court, and the reason why they run flares to this side of the court is because Immanuel really likes driving to his right. And so he can pump and push to his right if he gets that aggressive closeout. So as we'll see, we'll run it. They're going to gear up for it, and he's going to turn that into a flare. He just gets to step right into a three. That's just a nice little package of plays that they get to run for Immanuel Quickley. It's good basketball, and that's why I think he can just step into, he's going to get more of the ball than RJ, I'm presuming, when he comes back. If I had to guess, he'll probably get more of the ball. That doesn't mean, that's not a value, that's not a take on, what each guy provides. But if I had to guess, we're looking at probably Immanuel Quickley having more touches than RJ, running more of the offense, if I had to guess. Now, this is like, RJ's been one of the better pick and roll ball handlers in the NBA so far. Immanuel has not. Immanuel hasn't had one season per synergy where he's been like really strong at running the pick and roll. RJ, 20 games into the season, has been such a strong player in that regard. He's given them gobs and gobs of points. Now we need to see, Marcus Aurelius in chat says the one game IQ was back, the offense looked clunky with IQ in the lineup rather than RJ handling the ball. He did. IQ held onto the ball. He had sticky hands. He didn't move the Raptors through stuff quickly. He did a lot of hovering out beyond the break, but that doesn't mean that he can't, get those things out of his style. You know what I mean? Like he can work through that. He's been a quick player in the past. He can find himself in the flow of the game. It was like the offense did slow down. That's definitely true, but IQ can bring more, and he will. He has to just get up to speed. And, I think that the Raptors have to be able to express to him, like, hey, we want to see more, like we want to see you moving the ball on quickly, and to the point of him shooting 73% from three off of screens, from him being such a great catch and shoot option. The Raptors have to look how they can maximize his numbers off the ball, because his numbers on the ball, as far as he was a middle of the road pick and roll player last year, 0.958 points per possession. That's 55th percentile. He shot 34% on his 2-point shots out of the pick and roll. That's ghastly. 34% is really bad. And a lot of it has to do with what we're going to see here. So you can see it's paused right there. We're looking at a picked up dribble. That's not even a very aggressive dig. There's not a ton of pressure here. But to continue to work this 2-on-1, he needs to maintain his dribble and get Zubac to try and take away his lane, step up so that he can make that pocket pass to Fernando, or for Zubac to step up and for him to go up top. But he picks up the ball really early, and that means that Zubac gets to have both, and that you get a rear view contest from man. It's just an early pickup, and we need to see IQ getting deeper paint touches. We need to see IQ getting deeper on the floor to try and maximize what he's out there to do. This play, okay, we're going to let it run. This misses, but I think that's a really good process. Like he obviously didn't shoot well here, but this puts him in jail, right? Hostage dribble, keeps the dribble alive, gets like lower, gets that big pickup point, those big steps into the lane, and Jakob with the Gortat screen. Dean Wade and Jared Allen come over, and the ball goes and misses. That's just like, he can make those layups. I think the process there is really, really great from Immanuel. Then we get a couple more plays here. This one, like, this is just, I wasn't sure about this one because this is the game where he had the injured UCL. So like maybe this is just weird process. I don't know when he injured his UCL, but that's like a terrible possession. We see a really great play here. Like this is, and I really was wondering about this because the Cavs guarded this so unique. So we'll talk about some of the in vogue defensive plays that teams run. Like there's something called a next rotation. That's not what we're seeing here. If let's say IQ was going to the left and like you could switch across the top, you could whatever, but he goes to the right and Mobley drops out of this play completely. And it becomes up to Merrill, I believe, to step over. Why is Merrill swinging all over from the other side of the court? Like, and he points him away. He's swinging from the other side of the court to come and guard this. Like, that they weren't playing zone either was the thing. That was a very interesting defensive decision. It was like the inverse of a next rotation. And I maybe have to catch up and brush up on my European type of like rotations on defense to figure out what they were doing. But anyway, it's just like a perfectly fine step up screen from Scotty Barnes. Immanuel Quickley, again, he's a good pull up triple shooter. He's done a fantastic job. This one is like just a good pocket pass. Jakob has made this shot for so many people this year. And like, we'll go back to it. But what you'd like to see is if IQ wants to get deeper, something that Dejan Mitchell does, which is why he and Jakob are one of the best pick and roll pairings in all of the NBA as far as points per chance or points per screen. Instead of just going like those closed shoulders, making that pocket pass there, he could drag everybody deeper if he uses that hop skip. You know, a lot of the best pick and roll players use a hang dribble and a hop skip, and he goes kind of early to Jakob. Of course, Jakob can make that shot, but he doesn't always. There's stuff that IQ can work on. There's stuff he'll be able to do. But as far as what IQ is able to provide, I would be really interested to see because, again, he shot 34% on twos out of the pick and roll as a Raptor. That's really low. Like, that's really low. He shot 30% off of handoffs, 37% on twos out of handoffs. You know, those are bad numbers. You want to see like way bigger numbers there. And in the pick and roll, he shot 38% on his triples. On handoffs, he shot 25%, but it was pretty low volume. Seems to me, if they want to, like, if I'm looking at this team and trying to maximize this team, I see that RJ isn't necessarily, like, RJ isn't as good a shooter as Immanuel Quickley. Immanuel Quickley shoots 73% from three off of screens. He shoots 47% on unguarded catch and shoot, 34% on guarded catch and shoot. He's shooting poorly on twos out of the pick and roll. He's picking up his dribble really early. He's had trouble getting into the teeth of the paint, and a lot of his assists last year, that big boost in assist percentage that he got, I think that was reliant on the assist farm aspect of what the Raptors do, because IQ wasn't getting that many paint touches and he wasn't getting that, far in, and he wasn't creating like the best shots for his team. But the Raptors just get assists. Like Dejan Mitchell had tons of assists when he was a starting guard. Dennis Schroeder had tons of assists when he was a starting guard. And Fred VanVleet had a lot of assists, but it wasn't the same coach, obviously. The Raptors, they create assists for their point guards. RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes create a little bit differently. They create, I think, a higher quality of shots. And I don't know. Maybe that's me being biased towards what I'm seeing in the film. I don't know, but that's my take so far. With RJ being so good at driving offense in the pick and roll and struggling a little bit with his shot, I think that he'll have more space to drive. I think that he'll have better options to kick out to once IQ's back on the floor. So much of what Scotty does can be elevated by IQ being back there, of course, right? So much of what everybody does should be elevated by IQ being back there. And in my opinion, especially if IQ is playing a lot of off-ball stuff, if he screens a lot, if he's running a ton off of screens himself, if he's constantly supporting plays. Of course, he's paid $35 million a year, flat rate, going into the future. They want him to be a star guard, or at least very good, right? He has an opportunity to. Now, while I think they are going to move some of the offense towards RJ that wasn't there before, they're going to respect what RJ has done to start the year, particularly in the pick and roll. Immanuel Quickley is still going to run a ton of pick and rolls. My ideal situation for Immanuel Quickley is an uptick in that off ball stuff, is leveraging his catch and shoot prowess more often in the offense rather than expecting him to create off the bounce so often. And while moving some of that, still giving him a decent amount of possessions every game to work on that pick and roll prowess, to work on those types of reps. That is my ideal situation for Immanuel Quickley.